think most of you will agree that none of the Star Wars characters evoke more love and respect than the characters from the classic trilogies, the original and the prequels. Yes, the universe is full of different cool personalities, but only those who appeared in Lucas's films somehow respond in a special way, so their appearance in new projects always warms the soul. True, sometimes these projects turn out to be ambiguous or even a failure, but you can look at the good old Anakin or Obi-Wan endlessly, like a fire and water. In one of the previous videos, we already told you about Anakin's return in the second season of Ahsoka. He has a big role there and not just a cameo, because Hayden Christensen spent 3 months on the set. So we're looking forward to Anakin's return and hope that his story in the form of a Force ghost will receive an interesting and correct continuation. But besides Anakin, a big role also awaits the master of not only the Jedi, but also the high ground and sassy humor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, for whom Lucasfilm is also preparing a full-fledged return in 2 new projects at once, in the second season of Obi-Wan and also in the second season of Ahsoka. This was told by an authoritative insider, Daniel Richtman. And the actor, Ewan McGregor, himself continues to talk about his character over and over again, and if earlier he simply expressed a desire to return, now he openly talks about how he met with Lucasfilm and discussed options for returning with them. In short, Obi-Wan will receive a second season of the Solo series, and will also appear in the second season of Ahsoka in the Clone Wars Flashbacks, along with Anakin and Ahsoka. Today we will tell you everything that is known about this, and at the same time we will speculate what could come of his return, whether it is something good or bad. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, we are the same fans as you are, and we share with you the most interesting news about the Star Wars universe. Subscribe and like this video, this is a lot of support for us, and that's all we're asking for. I remember how in 2022 we were all really looking forward to the premiere of the series Obi-Wan Kenobi. We thought that it would look unrealistically cool and that the plot would be at the level of Revenge of the Sith. And in the end we got a mediocre project with bad visuals, in which the only interesting things are memories with Anakin and the final dialogue between Kenobi and Vader. I don't know how about you, but the team of our channel was extremely disappointed with this series. However, for some reason, we want to see a sequel that shows how Obi-Wan studied immortality under Qui-Gon, and how he got his house on Tatooine, or how the retired Jedi first met Commander Cody after Order 66, who became disillusioned with the Empire and left it in the Bad Batch. The second season of the series really has the potential to portray not only Obi-Wan better, but also the Force itself, because if the Master of the High Ground goes on the same journey as Yoda in the Clone Wars, when he studied immortality with Qui-Gon Jinn, then this adventure can be filled with a lot of interesting planets, visions, and memories of the past. With key characters from Kenobi's life, as well as exploring new horizons on the way to becoming a Force ghost. If everything goes like this, then the second season may become one of the best Star Wars projects and correct all of the mistakes of the first. Well, no, the first one will still remain mediocre, but at least we will convince ourselves that it makes at least some sense. But alright, let's get to the main news. Actor Ewan McGregor revealed that he has already discussed with Lucasfilm the possibility of returning as Obi-Wan in the second season, and the company is interested in continuing as well, as the first season has become the most watched project on Disney Plus in 2022. Moreover, at Star Wars events, McGregor says the same thing. Bring me back to the series. The fans need a second season. I want to play Obi-Wan again. And so on. Well, apparently the actor got it his way. Reputable insider Daniel Richtman reported that the second season of Obi-Wan is in the early stages of development, and no matter how Ewan McGregor tries to pretend that he doesn't know anything about it, the workflow is already underway. Lucasfilm is still sketching out ideas and developing a concept for the second season. Filming has not started yet, and the creative team has not yet been formed either, but the development itself has already begun, but any details are kept in strict secrecy. There is still about a decade between the first season of Obi-Wan Kenobi and the 4th episode of Star Wars, and during that time, a lot of interesting things could have happened to Obi-Wan that are worth showing. It is likely that the second season of Obi-Wan will be the same as the second season of Andor, in that it will bring the main character straight to the events of the original trilogy. by the way, speaking of Andor, Ewan McGregor talked to fans at the Chicago Fan Expo last year and said that he had only recently watched both seasons of Andor and was satisfied with them. The funny thing is that the actor was hoping for a sequel in the form of a third season in which he would appear as Obi-Wan, but then he found out that there would be no sequel and was upset that he would not be able to appear in such a large-scale project. It is also interesting that actors Ewan McGregor and Diego Luna, also known as Cassian Andor, participated together in a photo shoot for Vanity Fair, organized by Lucasfilm in 2022, and both appeared in their recognizable images on the set. They also had Pedro Pascal and Rosario Dawson, who are playing the Mandalorian and Ahsoka. Then the journalists thought that Obi-Wan would appear in Andor, but it was just a shoot for a Star Wars magazine, nothing more. Well, unfortunately for McGregor, he won't be able to play Obi-Wan in Andor, but he was able to continue his solo series, and not only that. We can say that Lucasfilm helped the actor realize another of his small dreams, to appear on the screen in armor from the time of the Clone Wars. As already mentioned, Obi-Wan Kenobi as well as Anakin will appear in the second season of Ahsoka, which will premiere in the summer or fall. And in it, he will appear in the image of General Kenobi from the animated series Clone Wars. Ewan McGregor has expressed several times his desire to play Obi-Wan in just such an image in armor, with short hair and side by side with Anakin, Ahsoka and Rex. Well, that's already a settled question. We'll see our favorite trio again, performed by those same actors. Except for Ahsoka, of course. She's played by young actress Ariana Greenblatt, who has nothing to do with the old Star Wars project. It is also rumored that in the sequel to the series, we will see Obi-Wan not only in flashbacks, but also as a Force ghost, like Anakin. Then it will be pretty much a double kill. The first time Kenobi performed by McGregor will appear as a Clone Wars general, and the first time in the guise of a Force ghost in the same project. Thus, it turns out that Obi-Wan is fully returning to the Star Wars universe, and we as fans will see him in big projects for several years. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Well, yes, it's probably a good thing considering how charismatic Ewan and his character are, and how important Obi-Wan is in Star Wars. It is impossible not to rejoice at his appearance. In addition, his return is not a story that has been sucked out of your finger, but a really logical continuation that suggests itself. There's only one bad side to all this. We know what the first season was like, and there's a good chance the second one will turn out just as bad as the first one. As always, we imagine everything really epic, but as a result, Lucasfilm will again shoot a mediocre project with a budget like a can of beer. Maybe their logic is, look what happened with the first season. We were able to earn a lot of money with minimal investments, so why would they change their principles? Well, that's exactly what we as fans do not need. Tony Gilroy, the creator of Andor, wants to make another Star Wars project, so let him make the second season of Obi-Wan. Anyway, we hope only for the best while preparing for the worst. In our beloved universe in recent years, there has been no other way. Finally, one more important piece of news regarding Obi-Wan. The talented author Pixel Joker 95, whom we have been supporting informatively for several years, continues to work on his remake of the first season of the series and plans to release it this year. This is a really cool project, and we are looking forward to its release. Pixel Joker 95 has redesigned many scenes, fixed visual and plot logic issues, and added several new scenes that should enhance the narrative. You can watch our last video about this by clicking on the icon on the screen if you wish. That's all for today. Write your opinion about Obi-Wan's return in the comments, subscribe to our channel, and like it if the video was interesting and useful to you. Well, we'll say goodbye to you for a while. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.